Good morning, everyone. My name's Amy Cohen. I'm the Director of Neighborhood Business Development for the Office of Economic and Workforce Development. Thank you all for coming. This is the kickoff of Small Business Week, as well as a celebration of all the accomplishments of our Small Business Revolving Loan Fund, which we have been working on for about 18 months. And I'd like to start by introducing Mayor Ed Lee, and then we will continue by hearing from Supervisor Scott Wiener, as well as Emily Gasner, the Executive Director of Working Solutions, our administrator for the Loan Fund, and then finally, the owner of this great new business. So, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. I can't think of a better way to celebrate the kickoff of Small Business Week than to be right on Valencia in the small business just started that's been the recipient, along with some 27 other small businesses that have worked really hard to get to a place where they can be and to allow actually our very complicated city to actually contribute and help. You know, we don't hear a lot of times, we hear a lot of complaints of how the city has not been doing things, but I think thanks to our Small Business Commission, which is here today, and their wonderful work and their director who's been advising me on a number of fronts what we can do more to help small businesses in every corridor. And then, of course, to my own supervisor, Scott Wiener, whom and I had a chance to open up a farmer's market in Glen Park yesterday and enjoy the sun there as well. I want to thank Working Solutions because, you know, we never do it alone. Whenever our city is working together, we have to find people who really know how to communicate with small businesses, drill down to what they need, and then work with our policymakers like the Small Business Commission and their staff, but really help in figuring out what it is that a limited amount of money, and it's really limited when you're only talking about $680,000 in very, very tight economic times, to be able to spread that around to 27 different businesses, help and make sure that a company like Mission Cheese, which has probably gone through a huge journey just to get here, can be directly helped to be open and then to be able to sustain success. And that's the other part of it too, because what we don't want to happen is to start things that can't be successful. The whole game here is about not only surviving the economic challenge, but as we recover, and we are recovering in our economy, that these small businesses will be very successful, and they'll grow, and they'll sustain themselves, and they'll be at the heart of what I think is a revival of the whole Valencia. When you walk Valencia, as we did last Sunday on the Sunday streets, and to be able to look at all of the vacancies that have erupted over the past few years, and then to see small businesses coming back, you'll know that everyone is struggling, but they want to make it happen. So we will talk, and I really wanted to emphasize this morning as I was thinking to come over here, how many different journeys people have had in making themselves successful, and how the city has been able to get them here, and the great journey and the great story that we're going to hear from Sarah, and then of course from Emily, as how Working Solutions has helped all the others. But I wanted you to listen to when Sarah talks too, is how did she get here, and how did she get the milk from those cows? Whether they're California or Maine or New York or Wisconsin, how did that milk end up to this lovely artisan cheese that she's making here for our residents and our visitors? That's a great journey in of itself, but I think the real journey is going to be when Sarah talks about how she found her way to establish in San Francisco. I mean, the greatest journey that I hear are people who take up that opportunity, and they all the way, and they come into San Francisco and they make their home here. That's a wonderful journey because it has many, many more stories to tell about how young entrepreneurs will then start their families and start their kids and then grow. That's the whole story about small business. And I want to join all of you here in celebration. We'll hear about the other businesses that are starting as well, but it begins with these very personal stories, and really how this milk and cheese got here, but how Sarah got here through all of her look and all of her studies about how she could form something very, very unique and then contribute to the great businesses that sustain San Francisco. So with that, Scott, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Scott Wiener, and I represent this district on the Board of Supervisors. And, you know, we always talk about how important small business is in San Francisco in terms of creating jobs, in terms of having interesting neighborhoods where we have unique businesses and not a complete takeover by chain stores. But then we don't always put our money where our mouth is, and we make it very difficult sometimes for small businesses to actually succeed. And in my office, at least once a week, we learn of a new arcane regulation or permit or fee or something that's preventing small businesses from succeeding. And so it's so nice and so productive when the city is able to take a proactive step to help small businesses financially. And I feel very lucky that in District 8 we have 6 businesses that have benefited from this program, ranging from Mission Cheese to Cake Coquette in the Castro to Bubbles and Shampoo in Noe Valley, a real diverse array of interesting small businesses. And so I'm just really proud that we've been able to do this, and especially what we've been able to do on Valencia Street. So congratulations and best of luck.
Just a quick word before Emily Gasner speaks. The money is really critical, but what we've seen in our office is that there's a lot of different things the city can do. And I think the reason that we like Working Solutions so much isn't just that they're able to make the loans, but the kind of assistance they're able to give to the business owners. So I just wanted to put in that little plug, and here's Emily.
Good morning. I'm Emily Gasner, the Executive Director of Working Solutions, and I also am so excited to be here to kick off Small Business Week this year as we celebrate the success of Mission Cheese. Sarah, congratulations on all of your hard work and achieving your dream. We all wish you continued success. Sarah is the perfect example of the hardworking, tenacious, inspiring, and creative entrepreneur that has received assistance from both Working Solutions and the City of San Francisco. 2 years ago, the city had the vision and the leadership to prioritize access to capital for small businesses. At that time, credit access was at record lows, and even today, still, access to capital remains one of the single biggest challenges that a small business can face, particularly startup businesses like Mission Cheese. Working Solutions was selected to administer the loan fund, and that gave us the opportunity to do what we do best, getting capital to entrepreneurs who need it the most. Working Solutions uses its expertise to see the potential in entrepreneurs like Sarah. We use flexible underwriting so that we can make small business loans so that businesses like Mission Cheese can launch and succeed. Plus, Working Solutions is committed to the long-term success of each business. What we do in addition to every loan is we provide 5 years of business coaching, advising, and mentoring. The San Francisco Loan Fund has been a bright spot in a dismal economy. It's been extremely successful in creating jobs and economic development. For example, in just the first few weeks that Mission Cheese has been open, Sarah has already created 5 new jobs. And the loan fund overall has created 50 new jobs. Working Solutions through this loan fund has made 27 loans to businesses. The loans are $5,000 up to $50,000, and the interest rate is low and fixed at 4 to 6%. We've lent out close to the entire $680,000 of the original lending capital, and 100% of those businesses are repaying their loans. As the funds revolve, those funds become available for additional businesses. The funds are used for different things like marketing, hiring new employees, purchasing equipment, tenant improvements, and more. And the types of businesses that have benefited from the City Loan Fund range from salons, cafes, retail shops, all different kinds of businesses throughout the city of San Francisco. These are exactly the kind of very unique businesses that make San Francisco the very diverse city that it is. I also wanted to point out that a few of our loan recipients from the city have also graduated and been able to later on access traditional bank financing. Two of those are Petite Collage, a children's decor company, and 18 Rabbits, a granola company, that have been able to move on to get traditional loans. I'd like to really thank the community partners that Working Solutions works with. We collaborate with organizations like the Small Business Assistance Center, the San Francisco Small Business Development Center, Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center, and Pacific Community Ventures. All of these organizations and more create a network of vital support services and resources for small businesses in San Francisco. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Working Solutions staff, board, supporters, and volunteers who are really a big part of the success that we're celebrating this morning. And finally, I'd like to thank the city, Mayor Lee, Supervisor Weiner, and the Small Business Commission for continuing to prioritize the needs of small businesses and access to capital. It is my hope that we're going to be able to build on the success of this loan fund so that even more entrepreneurs in the future, like Sarah, can achieve their dreams in the future. Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, I had no idea what to expect. This is my first press conference. I was like, that might be a few people. Cameras. Okay, so I haven't prepared, tirelessly for this, but I definitely have a lot to say about the space that we're standing in. So welcome. This is pretty surreal at the moment. And I have to clarify first, before I forget, that I do not make all of this cheese. I confess. The cheese comes from across the United States, from dedicated cheesemakers that work tirelessly without vacation to care for animals, care for the land, and create these beautiful pieces of art, really, that are also delicious. And that was really my inspiration for this space. It's a place to highlight and celebrate what's going on in the American artisan and farmstead cheese world today, and how far we've come from a place of craft singles and orange block cheddar to, I just love when I deliver a cheese plate and I tell them, the names of the cheeses, where they're from, what they're made with, a few details about, the rind or the cheesemaker or the cows. They have names. They rotationally graze. They eat grass. And that's really what this is all about: is sharing that accomplishment, really, for a culture that had gone so far away from small handcrafted cheeses to a community that now really supports it. And this is proof of that. People love cheese, and they love to know where the cheese comes from. And it's just an honor for me to, sort of curate that experience and bring that to the mission. And it's been beautiful. We've been open a month. We celebrated our month birthday this week. Got a tartine birthday cake for that. It's like, yes. And we've been busy. So we beat our initial projections by 12% in the first month. And that's without beer and wine the first week. So opportunity for next month. And we've been welcomed with open arms by the community. Local merchants and people that live in the neighborhood are just really excited to have a place where they can come and purchase these beautiful cheeses. And also, people that are knowledgeable on the subject. And it's been an amazing reception. I can't really say enough. There's so many people to thank. I know if I could talk for days, and I would probably start crying, and that would be bad. But as a new business owner and someone that had a dream and felt so passionate about something that they quit their 9-to-5 well-paying job to make it happen, it was really difficult to find funds. for sure, especially in this environment. I, had definite dreams of loans from banks or even the SBA, and those dreams were shattered in 5 and 10 minute conversations about, revenue, essentially. So being a startup business, it's really difficult, and I was thrilled to have the opportunity to work with Gabriella at the SBDC, and she helped through the process of refining my business plan to a place where I could approach TMC development and ask for a microloan, and she sort of shepherded me through that process. And then Agnes at TMC helped. I was baffled by the kindness and the generosity of your time and working with both of you through that process. And it was a lovely process, and I was like, really, I'm asking for a loan, and they're so wonderful and nice, and I was just so grateful even for the opportunity to present to the loan committee, and my expectations were pretty low, just given my other conversations with banks and just people at large being like, good luck getting money from, anyone. So I was just thrilled that I was granted this microloan. It was essential, to say the least. I mean, pretty much the refrigeration you see here was paid for by the microloan. There's a killer oven in the back also, the beer dispenser, a lot of equipment that is obviously necessary to provide what we provide here at Mission Cheese was paid for by that microloan, and it was a true blessing. I mean, I danced through the streets after you guys called me after the loan. Serious. I didn't even really know what to do with myself. But I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. I can't say enough. It's surreal to see you guys in this space. And thank you.
Is the cheese available? Oh, I'm sorry. We're cutting a ribbon. Sorry. I'll hold it on one side, and then you guys can you hold it on the other? One of you hold it on the other side. No, you should cut. Oh, okay.
Okay, we got one scissors and.
We have some more scissors.
Just one moment.
We can all hold the same.
Share. Let's get Sarah in the middle.
Come on, Sarah. Come on. There we go.
More scissors here.
Oh, here's some more scissors. Here we go.
And we can share scissors, and we all get to cut.
On the count of 3, 2, 1. Congratulations.